Alright, well today we are unhooking red and white. We're going to put the maze runner here underneath the trailer. Going to take her back to the house, and I'm trying to get this windshield ready for this. There's a guy coming tomorrow. He's going to put a new windshield on the driver's side of old red and white. Because next month is my annual inspection, and I do not think I'm going to pass that inspection. So that being said, I thought I was good with the windshield the way it was until I started reading and doing a little more digging, and I'm pretty sure that it's not. I'm still not 100%. This right here is where you're supposed to be able to find crap like this. And like I was saying in the last video, it's hard to understand the way they've written this stuff. It's like from another time, you know? It's just written weird. I'll show you right here. Let's see, we're gonna go to the back, to the index, and I would want to look up windshield. You would think windshield, okay? So right there it says windshield. Windshield wipers require, okay. Windows, see glazing and window construction. Alright, I'm already confused. I don't know what glazing is. Anyway, we're gonna go over here to glazing. I'm sure glazing's one of these things that people know, and some certain people know, and I just don't. You ever not known something that just everybody knows for some reason, and you're like, how? This doesn't make sense. Okay, glazing and window construction. Specification for glazing, I don't know. Window construction, window obstructions. We're gonna go with window construction, assuming that would mean the integrity of the windshield. Look at me, I'm using big words now. Page 471. Glazing and window construction. Windshields required, obviously. Windshield condition, with the exception of the conditions listed in paragraph C1, C2, and C3 of this section, each windshield shall be free of discoloration or damage in the area extending upward from the height of the top of the steering wheel, excluding a 51mm 2-inch border at the top of the windshield and extending from a 25mm 1-inch border at each side of the windshield or windshield panel. So I'm thinking that means if that crack falls within above the top of my steering wheel, 2-inch border at the top of the windshield. So it can't be no more than 2 inches from the top of the windshield, and it can't be more than 1 inch from the sides, if I'm reading that correctly. But what does damage mean? I guess a crack. It doesn't specifically say. You would think, I mean, damage, I would think that would mean a crack. And like I said, I don't know what glazing is. Glazing material used in the windshields, windows, and doors on a motor vehicle manufactured on or after December 25th, 1968 shall at a minimum meet the requirements of Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard number 205 in the effect of blah blah blah. I still don't know what glazing means. Okay, what's this? Exceptions. Coloring or tinting which meets the requirement. I believe tinting you can have up to 30%. So you can't block more than, well, I'll just read it how it is. Coloring or tinting of windshields and the windows to the immediate right and left of the driver is allowed, provided the parallel luminous transmittance through the colored or tinted glazing is not less than 70% of the light. You have to have at least 70% light coming into your truck, meaning 30% tint is the darkest you can go. The maze runner here, she doesn't meet those requirements. I like it dark in here because I sit in here a lot doing stuff like this, and I don't want people looking at me. Anyway, back to this. Exceptions. I get distracted easily. Any crack that is not intersected by any other cracks. Wait. Any crack. So does that mean, see, this is where I'm confused. Okay, so the crack does fall within it is above the top of the windshield, like this says right here. It's within the area that is not allowed. But then this saying right here, exceptions, any crack that is not intersected. That crack is not intersected by another crack. It's just by itself. So that's where I'm confused. Any damaged area which can be covered by a disc, 19 millimeter. Come on, we're in America. 3/4 inch. All right, so like a quarter. Well, that doesn't apply. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know. I'm really bad at reading comprehension. I'm really bad at interpreting, like reading interpretation. I have to ask my wife all the time what something means, because I read things too literally, which is how you're supposed to read this stuff. I'm just confused. I don't know. That's why I'm just getting it replaced, because stuff like this is where you get into trouble when you get pulled over. Because a lot of times stuff like this that isn't really clearly defined, it's up to the discretion of the officer who pulled you over, and it's not going to be in your favor. I'm just going to replace it. You know, I can't go to some shop and get an inspection done and they tell me this doesn't pass FMCSA regulations, and I'm sitting there telling them, trying to explain what this book says, trying to explain this to somebody. Like, this is one of the struggles of being a one-man show. And then you go online, forget about it. You go to Truckers Report, you're going to get 74 different opinions. Everybody's going to say something different. There's guys on there who will say, just replace it no matter what. You got a crack this big in the windshield, replace it. You got guys on there who are going to say, to hell with it, just keep running. You got guys interpreting what I just read differently. But regardless, we're getting it replaced, so I don't have to worry about this nonsense anymore. Okay, I just had an amazing revolution, and you guys might have caught it. You guys who are better at comprehending all this stuff. I'm horrible at it. Window condition. See, I went right over this. I read stuff and I just don't even hear what I'm reading. With the exception of the conditions listed. Okay, that's a key sentence right there. With the exceptions of the conditions listed in paragraphs C1, C2, and C3. Okay, that's C, so then we go down to 1, 2, 3. There's the exceptions. Okay, so that crack. So I'm legal then. Yeah. I'm still getting it replaced. Okay, here's the thing on that. I'm legal on this windshield. I figured that out. It took me 7 months to figure it out, but I'm a truck driver, you know. I'm not good at this stuff. So anyway, we're legal. That doesn't mean when I get pulled over for an inspection, I won't get wrote up for that windshield. Also, you get wrote up for that windshield. Fighting that, I would rather try to become a brain surgeon than fight another one of these damn tickets. They make it impossible. It's impossible. They have this new system now where it's not like it used to be, where you show up to court, you get your lawyer, the lawyer shows up to court, they fight the ticket for you. You know, you hire TVC, Trucker's Voice in court, they go to court for you, they get some stuff dropped. Nope, not anymore. Now you have to do it all yourself. And I got pulled over by Kansas Highway Patrol. You got to submit a what's the word I'm looking for? Challenge. That's the word I'm looking for. You have to submit a challenge in writing with all these pictures and all this. I'm trying not to cuss. Anyway, you have to submit a challenge. It goes directly. You won't believe this. It goes directly to the officer that wrote you the ticket. So he's going to deny that, which happened. So then what do? You got to submit another challenge. This time the challenge goes to the Highway Patrol. They got this team that's supposed to have a guy on that team who represents me. He's some guy in the trucking industry. I don't buy it. This whole team of people. So we got my guy on there. We got a guy from the highway patrol. We might have a lawyer. Who knows? It's a whole team of people, and they're supposed to decide. Well, they're going to reject it. They always do. That's what happened. So now we're at 2 rejections. So now we got it's going to court. And let me tell you how stupid this is. Mine was for a tire that blew out and it knocked out the lights. I fixed everything on the side of the road in front of the officer. That don't matter. He gave me 2 out of service violations. It added up to enough points to almost put me, to make it to where I couldn't even run anymore, because when the brokers check my record, they're going to see all those points. I was pissed. All right, so it's got to go to court. Yeah, like I robbed a store or something, or assaulted a person. I got to go to court with a jury for this. So I got my lawyer, and that's another predicament, trying to get a lawyer, because nobody knows about this stuff. I had to explain to like 3 different lawyers how it all works, because they don't understand it. I ended up getting with, I'm not going to mention her name because they gave me a horrible lawyer. Got online, found some outfit that will find a lawyer for you. They got me Joe Blow out there in some little tiny town with like 200 people. And you know what he did for me? He knocked $100 off. Yeah, $400. He knocked $100 off. I was like, I don't care about the money. It's my record. And he told me straight up, there's nothing he could do for that, and he said that he would advise me to not pursue any further actions, and that his fees would go way up if we had to take this to court. The system is set up to make it to where you're not even going to want to fight, because by the time you get that ticket taken care of, it's going to be a year, and the points will have gone from triple to double to single, and then 2 years they go off your record. Just hoping during that time you didn't get another one, Going back to the original point I was making, if there's something on the truck that's, I'm not 100% sure it's legal, or, I just don't know, it's best to just go ahead and replace it, because oftentimes the officer that pulls you over, he might not know either. The guy pulled me over because my lights weren't working on the trailer. All the lights were out. So he pulls me over, finds out there's a blown tire on the back. So you could tell the tire blew out. It knocked out the wiring on the trailer. The tire was brand new, which I got covered under warranty after all this from the shop. But it was a brand new tire that blew out. And this was right at sunset, so it just turned dark. And then, of course, perfect timing, pulls me over. Things happen going down the road. If somebody pulls you over, you can put 2 and 2 together and you can figure out this happened while he was going down the road. Let's have try to be understanding. They should be like that, because right now the relationship, the trust between truck drivers and enforcement officers is horrible, because this is just my opinion, but especially with DOT officers, I think that a lot of their training and stuff paints us as criminals. And when I say us, I'm talking about independent owner-operators. I think that they're trained to think of us, to look at us like we're out here just breaking all the rules. And you do have some guys out there that do that. I'm not one of them. But that's the feeling I get. And I'm not going to change the look of my truck to meet their needs, because I like the way my truck looks. I could get a brand new truck, make that gigantic monthly payment or bi-weekly payment. I could paint it real nice and make it look like a company truck, and I'm never going to be bothered, I never was bothered when I was a company guy. And let me tell you what, I've ran illegal all the time. Bald tires and lights out. because you're with that gigantic mega corporation that's filling the pockets of all these politicians, they just let you go. So you become independent, you're a target. And you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about on this, because I've been pulled over too many times to count for nothing. Just, oh, time to do an inspection. That's just complete BS. Anyway, where was I going with all this? I'm getting mad. Okay, to my point I was saying a while ago. After the officer saw that the lights were out, and he pulled me over and saw that the wires had been tore to hell right where the tire blew out. Well, 1 and 1 equals 2, right? He's trying to sit there and say the lights were just like that already. And I'm like, are you serious? The tire blew out and it tore up the lights, obviously. That's why they don't work. And I was like, I didn't know this, man. I'm just driving down the road and a brand new tire pops. I don't hear it. I can't feel it. The front marker lights on my trailer were working. Those were the only 2 lights on my trailer that were working. So I had no clue that my lights were out on the trailer. And people don't let you know of stuff anymore. If you're driving down the road and you see a trucker with a flat tire, you see a trucker with his lights out, please, for the love of God, get up next to that driver and honk your horn. And if his lights are out, do this. Do this. That lets him know his lights are out. If his tire's blown, do this. It's the 2 things that we get rode up for all the time, is lights and tires. And those 2 things, all the time, 100% of the time, what happens? How does the light go out? It doesn't just go out with the truck sitting. It goes out when the truck is going down the road. A tire blows when it's going down the road. If you get pulled over after that, it sucks. It's just bad luck. It's happened to me, though. Please let a guy know. Just ignore it. We appreciate that stuff, because we don't know sometimes. We can't see everything around us. And truckers, a lot of us, I got a CB, but most guys don't have CBs anymore, so they can't even let other truckers know. So anyway, I get these tickets. There was no leeway or nothing, even though I fixed everything on the side. You should be able to go directly to court. What happens when you get pulled over in your car and you're speeding, or you didn't put on your turn signal, or you weren't wearing your seatbelt? They give you a date, you go to court, and you can talk to the judge and try to get it dropped. That's how it should be for us, but it's not anymore. They're treating us like we're criminals now, and I just don't like it. It's not something that's going to make it to where I quit doing this, because that's not the kind of person I am, but it does piss me off big time. And they know what they're doing whenever they do stuff like that. It's treatment like that is paid for by mega carriers. It's all funneled down to DOT, and then you're going to get harassed. And yeah, I said harassed.